Hello, welcome to Goinson Tech and another podcast. Today's podcast will be on the SlingStudio console on the iPad. Last one I did, I was using the desktop software, which I had just downloaded a couple days before. And today we're going to use the iPad version or the mobile version for iPad, which I've been using for about the last year. So I'm just a little more familiar with this one. And one of the features that I wasn't sure about, couldn't find on the software last week, was the picture-in-picture, which I definitely wanted to show. Because I also did a demo when I'm doing a sermon, how I use the iPad, the SlingStudio, as my live stream, and how I'm able to set it up with the picture-in-picture, which is one of the things I love about it. So here we go. I'm going to switch to the iPad view. Now, on a previous take, because I had unplugged my iPad from the Sling and then plugged it back in, the audio turned on from my iPad. And so I completed the entire video, went back to review, and just hear it loop after loop after loop after loop of everything I was saying, which is very annoying and frustrating. So here we go, and I'm just going to be mindful to watch the audio. Okay, so we switched over this time, and the HDMI for the iPad input did not turn on. So definitely that was the issue. So because I had unplugged it and plugged it back in, I guess it was recognized as another audio input. And you don't want that when you're using the console and showing that console on the video. You don't want that audio. Alright, so here we go. This is what the console looks like on my iPad right now. Now I'm using iPad Pro, the largest one. I just purchased this back in, I don't know if that was maybe September or October. I know it was when they had a launch of all the new products. And as a previous Apple specialist, I should have known better than to go to Apple during the launch, because I bought that, my iPad, my MacBook Pro at the same time, and it was an adventure. And like I said, I should have known from my days working at that Apple store. So, needless to say, I am an Apple person. Alright, so this is what it looks like. And as you see on the left-hand side from the top, it's the actual view of my iPad at the very top. The next one down is this camera here. And then the next one was the intro for this podcast. And the great thing about it is, because I pulled in that clip and put it in here, all I had to do was drag the clip over to the main program box, which is the lower one on the right, and it auto played. And then when it gets down to the last 15 seconds of the video, it starts counting down to let you know that the video is ending. So I knew exactly when that video ended, and to switch over to my view. And the bottom one is another clip of night worship that I pulled in just for contrast, because I did the quad view of the picture-in-picture on a previous take, and learned some new things about this that I didn't know. Because I'm usually just on the picture-in-picture, just the two views, and I tried the quad, and it gave me all kinds of ideas for different things I can do with it. So, you see we still have the audio mixer at the top here, or preview. You have those two options. And for preview, you can put over whatever camera view you want to do next, or set up the auto switch, which is here, In settings, you can go in. I'm running out of storage before my takes. So anyway, let's keep it moving. Picture in picture is right here. So you see number one is the single panel. Two panels. Three, 4 is 4, which is the quad, which we will go over. But my favorite is the picture in picture. So we're still in preview mode up at the top. So keep that in mind. So you see me in the smaller box. Now I can take that video, but I want to do a different one. I'm going to take the old intro for a different podcast that I have, stick it in there, and now put that in as the main view. Now remember, this has happened to me live on Sunday morning. When you do the picture in picture, I'm going to hit the check and save. When you drag that picture in picture into the program, it's going to mute the smaller box and only have audio for the larger one. So you will have to go into Audio Mixer and unmute whatever audio you're coming in on that smaller box. For me, it's the audio in because everything's running through my Behringer mixer. So I'm going to have to remember that when I drag it down, I'm going to have to unmute because right now, number 3 is my Temple Fitness podcast intro, and you see that's over here at the end on the right. Because whatever names you have for your clips or cameras, that's what it's going to pull in. So it auto-populates that. So when I drag this down, my Temple Fitness one is going to unmute, but it's going to mute audio in on the first one, on the far left. So as I do it, I'm going to have to jump back in here and switch. So here we go, bring it. And I just unmuted myself. Now I have my Temple Fitness audio down low. But you see that's how that works. Now imagine the different things you can do there. Oh, and keep in mind, let me come back and make sure I'm not muted. Okay. Keep in mind when you're doing this picture in picture, you have the option, if I edit, of moving the smaller box around to fit. Because usually my scriptures are on the left and I'm usually over here. I usually put it in the corner, drag, probably make myself about that big on the side, then save, and then pull that down. So I'm going to do again, but again I have to unmute the smaller box. There we go. All right. So that is the picture in picture. And that's how that works. Now remember again, video sources. The 4 active ones are at the top. The middle will be up to another 4 that you can have sitting there that you can automatically drive over. Clips are below. If you wanted to add a clip, you hit add, go in. I named my thumb drive SlingStudio, so I always know how to find it. There's my intro for this podcast, intro for the fitness. Go in, projects, and under projects, you grab one of those projects. All right? Program recordings is the output. Input recording is going to be whatever devices you use to record. So I would go into programs, I would grab the most recent one out of those takes. I would hit add, copy, it's in. It is now sitting at the top. So if I bring that over, replace that up, it's in the current window. And can't do that when it's in the current window. It won't let you replace. So I'll drag it down there to something that's not playing at the moment. I can actually start it. Let me give you this window. So what I just did, which I just realized you couldn't see it all. What I did, I just brought in a new program. That program, I got out of video sources. I went to video clips. I went to my thumb drive. I went to studio, less than 4 minutes. I went to here. And then I went into one of those pulled in programs. There's programs. Back, out, out, out. Alright? So that actually, I'm glad that came up reminding me how much time I have left. In settings, here, you can see how much time I have left on my thumb drive with all the different programs. It keeps track. It warns you. It lets you know what's going on. That is great. So I did a few takes of this. So I actually have probably about at least an hour of takes for this podcast on here. So I'll go remove the other ones afterwards, after I pull this one off and start editing. But that is the SlingStudio on the iPad, the mobile version of the console. And I said it before, I like it. I like it a lot. So hopefully you got something out of this. I certainly did. Because every take I went in, messed with things, and learned a little more. Mind you, I've had it for a year, but there's some, I got used to what I was doing with it, so I didn't venture too far away. But there's a lot here, a lot to work with. So join us next time. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.